Welcome to another highly questionable. What do you like today, Bomani?
It's going down in the DMs. That's what the kids say.
Dale, papi.
Is it time to accept that the Rooney Rule isn't working?
I mean, it's pretty obvious when you look at the numbers, as Mike Sando of ESPN ended up doing. When you look at the positions of power in the NFL, not just at head coach, but offensive coordinators and the guys who become head coaches along the pipeline. Black guys don't get those opportunities. Minorities don't get those opportunities. First-time coaches, Todd Bowles gets an opportunity, but very few others don't. And here's what you've got in this situation. This isn't Klansmen wearing a hood making a decision. It's white people in power hiring other white people to have the power, who then hire more white people for power. That's how it happens. It's why 43% of the league minority coaches in the last 2 decades have come from the Tony Dungy coaching tree. It's black guys helping black guys there, and everywhere else it's white guys helping white guys.
Yeah, but hold on. Let's stop being delicate about this, and let's stop being disingenuous. The question here is not about the Rooney Rule. The Rooney Rule is not the thing that's not working. What's not working is the people who are in charge. And so when we position this as, wow, the Rooney Rule really isn't doing anything. Why isn't it doing anything? It's this racism that's above it. It doesn't matter whether they're Klansmen or anything else. It's not simply white guys hiring white guys. It's white guys hiring white guys based upon an established thought process that black people just aren't that good at thinking. And that gets spelled out by the fact that you do have black guys who wind up being defensive coordinators, but that's not seen as being the same intellectual sort of pursuit as being an offensive coordinator is. So we can just kind of be like, oh, it's just white guys hiring their own. No, it's people repeatedly saying they think that black people aren't smart, and somehow we got to figure out a way to make it stop and stop being delicate.
Did you think I was being that delicate? I didn't think I was being that delicate.
Yeah, you're being delicate.
I mean, it's white people hiring white people.
Yeah. I mean, you like to be nice about these things, but it's hard to do this productively and be nice at the same time.
What do you take away from learning Kevin Durant didn't leave his bed for 2 days after picking the Warriors?
Yeah, after a Team USA practice, Kevin Durant said this. Sam Amick of USA Today reported. Kevin Durant said he spent 2 days in his bed. And how did I take this? Well, my first question was, well, who's in the bed with you? Then I found out apparently he was just playing the Xbox and didn't want to run into people who might have bad things to say to him after he made this decision. And I don't know what to make of this other than to say, man, these millennials, they're getting closer to 30, and they're still doing all the things they were doing in their early 20s. Some things are not for me to understand.
Come on, man. He's a human being who's hurting a little bit. This is a difficult decision. He wrecked Oklahoma City, a city that he has a relationship with, and he's going to be responsible as well for Russell Westbrook leaving there, so they're going to blame him a couple of years, or next year they're going to blame him for that too. So it's a hard decision to make, and he made it, and it hurt.
I thought he cared less about what other people thought than this. I'm sorry, I got it a little back.
You're unusual that way.
2 days in bed. That's what I call my weekend.
Yeah, gets up occasionally for a snack, brings it back to bed.
I guess who's in bed with him?
Oh, don't do that.
Good or bad for the image of certain NBA players to admit they slide into DMs?
Yeah, welcome to 2016, guys. Slam Magazine did this. Check it out. They getting direct messages, making it happen.
A few of your fellow NBA players have been caught sliding in the DMs. What is your take on the DM?
They go down in the DM.
You know what? If you're really thirsty and you really need to quench your thirst, I mean, you've got to do it. But at the same time, you know, you just got to be careful what you say, because even just saying hi makes you look like, you know, like egg thirsty. So it just depends.
Do you slide?
Yeah, I mean, I won't even lie about that. I slide head first.
I hope I don't get caught.
But do you slide in there sometimes?
Maybe. I'm not going to tell him myself.
I'm not going to lie. Yes, of course.
First of all, why is Miles Turner out here with the Jamie Foxx braids from Booty Call? Second of all, are they sliding into DMs? I mean, the answer to that is right along the lines of why did Willie Sutton rob banks? Because that's where the money's at. You understand?
I love Miles Turner's response to you got to be careful, anything could get out there. Oh, yeah, I slide head first. And Porzingis, by the way, the most confident of all of them, leaning into the interview with those giant shoulders and that blue suit saying, oh, yeah, I'm in there all the time, girl.
He's like, I'm from Europe. Ain't nobody tripping on that.
I have no idea what hell they're talking about. You know, I got no idea whatsoever.
Yeah, what's he talking about? My father will slide in there, ladies. Careful.
How should Panthers player feel about the tribute to Jerry Richardson?
80th birthday for the owner of the Panthers, and he erects himself an emperor's statue. He has to sign off on this gift, right? This is look at this, 13 feet high, of course, Panthers. I mean, this is unbelievable, Bomani. Like, how do you do? I mean, this ought to be posthumous, no?
I mean, he's got a lot of buildings named after himself. He likes these sorts of things. I get it, but at the same time, I'm not quite as down on this as other people are. He brought football to this area. Charlotte being viewed as like a big-time city kind of falls in line with the sports teams and the NFL team being there in particular. There's just no real humble way to build a statue of yourself.
I know. Agreed, but this is the least humble way to build a statue of yourself. Look at how large that thing is.
If they made him smaller than the Panther, you'd think the Panther was eating him, right? He's got to at least look formidable in the face of all that danger.
I mean, come on, man.
I don't understand. Why did they build the statue of Jimmy Johnson outside of the Panthers Stadium?
Look at this again.
Let's look at this again. Was it Jimmy Johnson? I mean, it does kind of look like Jimmy Johnson.
Except the only thing is Jimmy Johnson's hair is harder than the hair on that statue.
And his skin is more sunburned.
Coming up next on my son Stevie's show, we talk to Brett Bielema.
I love that we ask him about the college experience, and it ends up with the house being raided for drugs and guns and money and whatever else they were
There was
raiding the house.
nothing there.
No, it was totally normal.
And then it got raided by Bielema and his 6 homeboys trying to find the money.
At the beach today is Brett Bielema.
This is his 3rd time with us, yes.
Bobby still doesn't know his name. He's still calling him Bielema.
Well, either way, we'll talk to him.
Brett, what's the smell that you remember from the farm that you worked on as a kid? What's the one that carries with you in adulthood?
Definitely the piles that would accumulate after a feeding. It's definitely a bad smell on that farm. My dad always called it the smell of money, though, because he knew it was making money.
Did you call it the smell of money? Is that how you saw it?
I was in charge of cleaning it up, unfortunately. You know, it's funny, when you grow up, you don't really notice the smell when you're around it all the time. But I remember the first time I came back from college, I'm like, Jesus, what's that smell? And you'd been growing up with it your whole life, just never really noticed it.
Paint for us the picture of the Bielema boys fighting, physically fighting. There would be a lot of, there's a lot of skin, a lot of stuff happening there.
My oldest brother is Bart. We're Bart, Betsy, Barry, Brett, Brandy. Those are the 5 Bs. My oldest brother, Bart, was quite a bit bigger than I was. I remember he used to hang me by my underwear on a doorknob when I was a little kid. Probably was counterproductive to me later in life, but that was his way of fighting. And then my older brother, Barry, used to torture me by pinning me down and kind of, you know, doing the old kind of spit on you, but then suck it back up and, you know, in your face like you do when you're 10 years old. It was a good idea back then, probably a little. And then another time, we had some feed get delivered, and we didn't see the guy coming in, and my brother and I were playing dare, which is you'd shoot each other with a BB gun. You'd put a pump in it, up to 10 pumps, and I shot my brother. I'd snuck 2 pumps on him when he wasn't looking, took it up to 6 and shot him and dropped him. And the guy delivering feed come running over. He goes, "Did you just shoot your brother?" I said, "Yeah, he asked me to." So we'll get a little out of hand.
Wait a minute, I got a lot of follow-up questions here. What's the longest amount of time you spent on a doorknob by your underwear?
Until someone would come get me down. You know, a lot of times it was when no one else was around. It was torturing.
Well, how old were you? Because that sounds like one straw on doorknob.
30 years
You know,
old.
I remember when I was like it wasn't when I was in school yet, so like 3 to 4. My older brother, he's probably 15 years older than me, so he was.
Oh, wow, he's 15 years older than you. He's putting you on the doorknob.
He's a lot older and a lot bigger than me at the time.
Well, once you developed some size, though, what did revenge look like? Because at some point there was revenge, was there not?
It was BB gun. Snuck 2 pumps in him, you know, dropped him like a rock. You shoot. We wanted to aim towards the middle of the back. You know, you didn't want to shoot the legs or the ears, the head. So we'd shoot towards the middle of the body. It seemed like a great idea when you were younger.
What were you like in college? Like you were out of control in college, right? Like
Nah, not too bad. You know, we grew up on a farm. I'd never been on a plane. Went to the University of Iowa, and I lived with 7 guys and developed. I was a walk-on, so I kind of had to earn my way. Was a non-scholarship player for my first year, and then ended up playing a lot of times ahead of the guys that they had heavily recruited, and ended up being 2-year starter. I moved from outside linebacker at 185 pounds my first day of college till I left. I had a wonderful career with the Seahawks. 6 days in the NFL. It was a short week, but made a lot of money, bought a lot of houses, a lot of cars.
Did I hear you correctly? Did you say you had 7 roommates? What kind of farm were you living on?
No. That was in college. That was in college. We had 7. We had a big old house. I think 1 or 2 of the bedrooms were illegal back then, but that's college guys. You're piling in as many as you could. 3 different levels. It was a big house.
You said that you weren't out of control in college, and then you told us you live in a
Right?
house with 7
I mean,
dudes.
come
Who
on.
you fooling right now,
Come on,
Who you
man.
fooling?
Come on, Bulimia. Come on. Nobody's believing that.
It wasn't. It was good. It was a good time. It was 7 guys, and I'm still close with this day. I think 4 of them, 5 of them were in my wedding. One stood up with me in my wedding as well.
Yeah, tell me this, though. Did you get your security deposit back? Because it sounds
No,
like
we
you
didn't.
and 6 of your friends are not getting your security
We
deposit.
didn't get
Answer
security.
that question quickly.
Yeah, it was a whole different deal. One day we're sitting there, and all of a sudden these guys showed up in these cars. They all get out and they got suits on, and some of them got ties, and they just showed up all at once. And it was actually the federal government, and our landlord had gotten arrested for some type of illegal selling of some stuff that was away from our house. So they came to talk to us. They seized the house. So we actually ended up living and paying for the government for the last year and a half, which was a whole other story in itself.
That story ended up in a different place.
Yeah, yes, it did. And I imagine you don't act nearly as bad at Uncle Sam's house as
No.
you do at Pablo Escobar, whoever was running that place.
Yeah.
You skipped right around the illegal sales there. You tried to talk around what was being illegally sold, but what would it have been?
It kind of freaked us out because they came through and they wanted to make sure that he wasn't stashing anything at our place. So they did this huge sweep through our house, and then one of the guys kind of put a little innuendo that they thought maybe he had stashed some of the money that he was dealing with in the house. So when they left, we tore that place upside down because we thought for sure we were going to find a pot of gold somewhere, that was a bunch of money stashed somewhere. But
I love that we ask him about the college experience, and it ends up with the house being raided for drugs and guns and money and whatever else they were
There was
raiding the
nothing
house.
there.
No, it was totally normal.
And then it got raided by Bielema and 6 homeboys trying to find the money.
it was a unique experience, I guarantee that.
Go ahead, Poppy. What do you have for Brett?
Yes, Brett, what is the most embarrassing, funny moment you have had on a football field?
The most embarrassing, funny moment on the football field, actually, it was just right outside the stadium. We have what was called the hog walk, and you're down this little incline, and I'm not as agile as I was back in my youth, and my shoes were a little slick, and I slipped and did the splits in front of about 600 people. And, of course, it was being live on the internet. Now it was a huge sensation for people like to see me fall.
Had you ever done the splits before, or was that
No,
the
it was
first
4
time?
splits. Thankfully my pants survived. I was a little worried there for a moment. I wasn't really built for the splits back then.
That sounds like great video, though. That sounds like it sounds like great.
It wasn't all that great, but
It wasn't all that great.
Thank you, Coach. We appreciate it. Thank you.
appreciate it, gentlemen. We'll
Brett.
pick.
Gracias. Highly questionable is broadcast from the Clevelander Hotel on beautiful South Beach, Miami. You're right. You was right. I was wrong. Yeah, I should never took her home. Yeah, I should just fantasy on my phone. It's brought to you by Corona, who invites you to find your beach.
Beach.
Do you question if this driver did the right thing?
Not if he made this show and this segment of the show. Well, let's see. Let's see who's right here. Knocks him over.
Well, I don't feel like he actually knocked him over.
What happened? Helps him. That's nice. Helps. Oh, no. Oh. And it looks like I'm right on this, Bomani. The driver did not do the right thing.
Well, yes and no, right? He did the right thing in being helpful, but I feel like old buddy on the motorcycle, he should have known how. Also, he's wearing those flip-flops on a motorcycle, which doesn't seem like the best idea.
Oh, this part right here. Oh, what? Oh.
Are we sure that it's the helper's fault and not the owner?
Why are you blaming the owner for this?
I don't know. I'm really tired of two-wheel vehicles are the bane of my Miami living existence. I mean, we got to find a lane where they can all be by themselves.
That motorcycle driver He looks familiar. Roll the tape.
Oh my God, what happened here?
Oh.
Oh! That is crazy.
Wow.
I mean, how? Look, I mean,
I think the best part is the whole he looks familiar, as if it matters at all that they bear any resemblance or that anyone could tell. We just want to show you that guy going across the street.
Total
You ain't got a lot of kick and pops. Just say you want to show us a video.
Total excuse of, let's show you an entirely different shocking motorcycle video.
Do you question what lurks in the waters of the Baltic Sea?
The question I've been waiting for all my life. What the hell's in that water? Let's go. What? Oh, what's going to happen to this jet ski rider? What? Why is everyone backing away?
Why is he the last to figure? Wait.
What is that?
Whoa!
Oh my God!
Is that a boar?
That's a wild boar.
What?
Look at that! Yeah, party! Woo!
I don't
Why was that there in the water?
I didn't know they had boars over there, by the way.
Wait a minute. What else is happening here?
And why are all these people sticking around?
Yeah, that's it.
Oh.
That's it, boar!
Wow.
You get in there and take out some kids. What are you gonna do, guy in a blue shirt?
Look. I mean, save your kids if you got to, but I don't feel like running at this boar is really the way that you want to go about this. There, see, that's the man with the plan, right there with that stick. What took you so long to say, hey, maybe I should go get my lucky stick?
You're gonna need something bigger and better than a stick, man.
I tell you, it's better than his 10 fingers.
Let me go back and look at the guy in the blue shirt. Can we go back and just chronicle the adventures of the guy in the blue shirt? Watch. He's real eager to protect the kids.
Is that the
Here
guy
it
right
is.
there?
Yeah, this guy right here. This guy sleeveless. I'm going to handle this. I'll handle this. Oh, never mind. There's a boar there. There's a boar there.
Well, after the first grown man got taken out, I don't know what he thought he was going to prove, right?
Maybe the boar.
Everybody's on retreat except for man who came back with the driftwood or plywood, whatever kind of wood he had.
Maybe the boar will be scared of my sleeveless arm.
Time to play the game that wants to shower you with affection. See? Or no?
Wow, ladies, blew you a kiss. You tell us what to watch on TV tonight. We tell you if we're intrigued or
Had
not.
me all off beat because he was trying to do that at Mackey.
Man, it's true.
On ESPN, Mets and Cubs.
Syndergaard versus Arrieta. This would have been a lot better a few months ago because both of these guys have been struggling lately. But let's check in with the Cubs and a home run ball. You know what they do. They throw the home run balls back when John Lester or anybody else gives up home runs. It's the only score of the game for the Mets yesterday.
Hold on.
The kid caught it. Oh, you got to throw it back. And what happened? What is that? The adults fouling up what the kids are doing. Oh, they're faking it. Oh, Bomani, look at that. They're running a Ponzi scheme. This guy, bearded guy over here. Oh, that's bad parenting. Bomani, are you intrigued?
I am not intrigued. By the way, Syndergaard not throwing the ball as hard as he used to because nothing makes Mets fans freak out more than, oh, this young pitcher you're supposed to have, he might flame out too.
Poppy, are you intrigued?
Oh, see, I'm very intrigued. But now we know how Danny's going to look in a couple of more years. You know,
Really?
that's
Really?
right, buddy.
Oh,
Really?
yeah.
Really? I mean, that's okay. I'll take it. He looks pretty good.
Looking straight
It's
through
not
the
that
wall.
bad, man. I've never even known that this is a thing that I have until Bomani started pointing it out. Never known.
Blame your dad.
My dad doesn't have a bald spot in the
He's
back.
the one that gave me reason to look at it.
On Fox, Coupled.
It's a dating show. That's all I know. What else you got?
That's all you're gonna eat?
I'm such a picky eater. I just kind of like the crescent rolls.
And chicken nuggets. Are there gonna be chicken nuggets on this island? I am known for my love of chicken nuggets. Everyone in the whole city knows me as the chicken nugget princess. I've never had a salad in my entire life, or ranch dressing. How are you alive? Like, are your organs okay? I'm running on chicken nugget fumes, I guess. Are you sick, child? Oh, I want chicken nuggets so bad. I miss chicken nuggets. I have chicken nuggets every single day. People think I make that up and I'm exaggerating. I'm not.
Does anyone want to get some food?
I'm good with this salad.
Seriously, I gave up chicken nuggets to be here. I'm already on edge.
I mean, look, my father's muttering under his breath. Bomani, are you intrigued? I mean, I don't blame you for that. Poppy, are you intrigued?
Oh, see, I'm very intrigued. Are you kidding me? I know about everything about chicken nuggets. You know, the way they look, the way they taste. You know, you dip them in sweet and sour. You know, that's my. I'm telling you what. I don't know what to say.
Okay, see you, everybody.
That's all the time we have for today. Thank you for watching.
My father ran out of gas. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
Gracias. I ran out of gas, too.
What am I supposed to say about chicken nuggets? Well, it doesn't taste good. You know,